Yo, what's going on, everybody? As y'all can see, today we're going to be doing a video that is kind of different from what I normally do. Obviously, the title is similar to a series that I've done before, just in terms of a Perfect Four series that I've done with a couple other things, but this is the first time that I'm actively going to be including anime into any of my videos, which honestly is hilarious because I do love anime, and I have spent a good portion of any time that I've been on YouTube talking about anime in a whole. So I just kind of wanted to match these two specific parts up and make a video discussing something that I always just thought made perfect sense. A crossover that I always just thought made perfect sense. And that is why Spider-Man, as a character, and just in general, would be an absolutely amazingly perfect fit for the My Hero Academia universe and just for My Hero Academia as a whole. Because, let's think about it. Peter Parker's whole entire vibe, his shtick, his struggles, and all of his powers fit right into the My Hero Academia world so perfectly that if he was in there, there wouldn't be anything that would be so breaking comparatively to characters like Superman, comparatively to characters like Thor, and all of these big powerhouse characters. Spider-Man would be able to fit into the world almost hands down without any very big problem, and would be honestly an amazing fit for all the other characters in the world. But with all that said, let's actively get started to why I specifically think this. First off, Peter's abilities might as well just be a quirk, because obviously if you know anything about My Hero, powers don't come from powers in the My Hero specific world come from quirks. Like, you basically are given these by birth, and in kind of a universe like this, his powers wouldn't come from the radioactive spider, but instead of just the basic genetic mutation that causes quirks and basically does that anyways. Because while this is kind of a small switch, it would still very well work, and having a good different abilities and power sets would very easily kind of work. Whether we decide to give him organic webs or he just decides to make the web shooters later on, kind of doesn't really matter. It could work either way. Kind of is just take it or leave it depending on how you guys want to do it. His enhanced agility, his spider senses, the web swinging would make him a powerhouse hero in training, and all those abilities could just be put into one, just calling him a spider quirk, or just giving whatever kind of random name you want to have that quirk be given, just to make it make any specific sense. But either way, all of those abilities, specifically the spider sense, the web swinging, and the enhanced agility, would make for one wild combos that he could be able to pull off, but just make his quirk so perfect for being a hero that he would be a perfect and amazing UA student. If Peter Parker somehow ended up in the world or was just born in the world in an alternate universe, one, he'd definitely be in UA, and he that's only if we're saying he goes to Japan, or he's just in Asia or whatever, and he somehow makes it all the way over there, because obviously US, he'd probably be dealing with a US school. But if we're making him in My Hero, we just kind of have to put him into UA and just kind of do all of that, so he's still involved in the story somehow, instead of just being someone probably more closer to Stars and Stripes or someone like that. But if we're just going to put him into 1A and just putting him into the world of Izuku Midoriya as a character, he would be an amazing student for UA. He would, first of all, make it into UA, and he'd definitely be in Class 1A. He's got the intelligence of Yaoyorozu, the determination of Deku, and the wise-cracking attitude of Kaminari. So he would be, a very good blend of a good few characters for the entire anime, and he would be very well liked by everybody. Peter Parker is a character that is usually generally well liked by people around his own age, and is someone that can get along with many, many people. And as I said, he is extremely smart. I said the intelligence of Momo, but he probably far surpasses that, and he would be well smarter than anybody else there. And if we're being honest, he'd be a standout, constantly pushing himself much to be better, while juggling the school, hero training, the personal life, the very basic things as Spider-Man normally has to deal with. But one of the honestly things that I would really be interested to see is his relationship with literally only one specific character from the My Hero universe. And there could be so many people that could be a mentor to him if we're starting the Spider-Man as like a younger character, like a teenage, high school age Spider-Man. Because obviously, yes, we have in canon, like in Marvel, Peter always looking up to older heroes like Iron Man, Captain America, Daredevil, or whatever. But in the My Hero universe, he'd, first of all, absolutely respect All Might just as a character. But I do not think that All Might would be the person that he's striving to achieve or be. The person that I honestly see him have the best relationship with and be a perfect mentor for Spider-Man in the My Hero universe would be Aizawa. While, yes, All Might's sense of justice would inspire him, Aizawa's, first of all, tough love mentorship would very much push him to hone his skills, and we already know how Aizawa's fighting style is normally. Aizawa's fighting style meshes so perfectly with Peter that both of them training together to use the scarf that Aizawa uses, or just use any kind of the techniques that Aizawa already implements and uses on a basic normal occasion, would be such a perfect combination with the way that Peter already normally moves in just any normality. Adding them together won't really be too much of a big thought out of the question, and would make perfect sense in very many situations, just kind of setting up his character and just setting up his story. Because, like, there's just really so many things that you could honestly think about with those two specifically working together. Just the entire interactions would be hilarious. But besides that, kind of continuing on, he is a character that honestly probably would also have a lot of rivalries and friendships because, this is anime. Any time that you have a shonen hero, he needs rivalries. And Peter, as I said, would definitely have them. I could very much see him having a friendly competition with characters like Ida or Todoroki, while probably butting heads with someone like Bakugo. He's not a very big fan of bullies, and Bakugo would probably be the equivalent to his own Flash Thompson. And we're being honest, he would get perfectly well along with Deku. They're both nerds, first of all, who would very much be working together to overanalyze fights, admire legendary heroes, and literally just work with each other to create the best tech or just talk about things that they're both extremely interested in. And I honestly feel like Peter would be a godsend to Deku. My biggest gripes with Deku as a character as a whole is the way that Deku is quite literally put out to be this smart character, but doesn't really use that intelligence for very smart purposes half the time. We see him in the first episode analyzing heroes' quirks to understand them perfectly, and we see him use that kind of like instinct and that kind of intelligence a couple times throughout the show. But someone like Peter would first of all help Deku, even this is before Deku even getting One for All, would almost probably help Deku in a sense of, creating tech for him, especially after Peter becomes Spider-Man. He could quite literally easily create web shooters or just create other kinds of tech that would help Deku become a hero without having a quirk in the first place. And even after Deku possibly gets One for All, like Peter would probably be able to help create tech that either lessens the strain on his body or just works so perfectly with the entire suit that Deku has, he doesn't get injured nearly as much. But obviously, if he's going to be in the My Hero world and he's going to be helping Deku having any kind of close relationship to anybody, the villains and the people that he's going to have to go up against will be happening anytime at any given point in time. Like, sorry that I really, said that twice, but that's going to be a very big statement. Because Spider-Man is a character with very many villains and very good at attracting villains. We know his, normal Sinister Six, which is still probably my second favorite villains team in terms of like anything else. My first being the Flash's Rogues Gallery. But there's a very specific reason on that, which I'll make in another video just explaining why I love them specifically so much. But the Spider-Man's like specific villains are usually very top class, and if we're just talking about how he would deal with any of the MHA villains, he would absolutely hold his own right against almost all of them. His speed and reflexes would make him a nightmare for guys like Shigaraki or Dabi, and the fact of, his spider sense would be absolutely terrifying. It would make anybody just be annoyed at having to battle him, because dodging attacks before they even have a chance to land would be an absolute game changer, and just kind of piss so many people off, if we're being honest. Like, he automatically knowing where your attack's going to be going and you're never going to be able to hit him in the first place. Have fun just trying to deal with that. But I honestly do see the simulation and like situation where any of the leagues or like villains in the entirety of MHA just trying to deal with Spider-Man, getting annoyed and being absolutely pissed would be happening so fast. And kind of, trying to make sure to get all of my points across, we have to talk about something else. The biggest reason for Peter being a hero in anything like that, and honestly, one of the biggest reasons that Peter would be so perfectly fitting well with the My Hero Academia entire theme, the big words that Peter goes by, with great power comes great responsibility lesson, and My Hero is all about what it means to be a hero. We all know these people are granted these amazing powers, and they understand that they have the responsibility to be heroes. Most of them all truly want to be heroes, especially the kids that we follow in Class 1A. They have this great power. They understand that they have to use it well. They understand that they have to use it to the best of their abilities. And it's literally, the entire show is just talking about what it means to be a hero. And honestly, Peter embodies that struggle perfectly. He knows what it means to fail. He knows what it means to lose people he loves, and he knows exactly what it means to be to keep going no matter what. He is a character that I honestly think would be absolutely adored by someone that quite literally just hates the hero system in general in the My Hero world, which would be Stain. Stain, especially like in a situation like if Peter's older or Peter actively would meet Stain in any specific way, he would love Peter for one specific reason, and that's the fact that Peter is a true, genuine hero. Especially like if this is a Peter that just goes the entire route of being a vigilante and just not going to UA and just becoming a hero automatically, Stain would love him so much because the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man is someone that actually cares about being a hero. He's not invested in the, he's not invested in the just money, the actual full aspects of being a hero that aren't just being a hero and helping people. That's exactly what he cares about. He cares about the helping people aspect. He doesn't care about all the rest. He doesn't care about the profit. He doesn't care about the fame, the glory, like so many other people in the My Hero world do. He actually truly wants to help people and feels the responsibility to help people, and Stain would love him for it. But with that being said, obviously they probably wouldn't get along in any feasible way at all possible, but we don't got to worry about that. But, kind of, again, continuing on, because I know I'm going to start ranting for hours if I end up trying to do anything like this. But, just continuing on that specific factor of him and Stain, or just him and any specific characters and villains. But, as I said, continuing on, we also have to talk about like a situation like with just his hero costume, because we literally have to take a second just to imagine how sick Peter's MHA hero style costume would be. His classic red and blue suit would fit one perfectly right in with the more stylized designs of the series, but imagine he gets like an upgraded suit from like Mei Hatsumi or whatever. She'd go absolutely wild with his web shooters and gear, but let's be honest, Peter would probably just create it himself and then use it like that, and kind of really deal with all of those, because he is possibly, and I honestly say this very quickly, not even possibly, he is absolutely smarter than May and would be able to make better tech than probably anybody in the support course at all. So even if Peter did not become Spider-Man, him being a character in the support course would have been an absolute hilariousness because he would be outbeating everybody so heavily that the main thing that I always think about Peter Parker is the fact that Parker Industries isn't just something that always normally happens, and Peter's literally usually living in like a 1-bedroom apartment in Brooklyn or like just Manhattan or whatever he's living in New York City, like always kind of like looking like he's not like being completely stable with his living situation's always honestly hilarious to me because he could just be so rich if he used his mind the correct way. But honestly, it would honestly just be one of those situations where he would just be so well suited for the entirety of UA in any way that he wanted to go into it. Because if we're thinking about it, this UA Sports Festival, like all those festivals that they have, he would dominate so hilariously that it's truly hilarious. Like, it's just truly funny. Like, whether he's helping organize the events or he's just actually in them, him cracking jokes or just accidentally stealing the show would be so funny for absolutely every reason. He'd know he'd be at the center of, like, I know he'd know he'd be at the center of some of the most hilarious antics, and he quite possibly would just be like beating everybody in almost any of the events because obviously his speed, mobility, absolutely out of this world, and losing in anything like the sports festival, I don't see happening. His abilities and his strength alone are a little too overwhelming comparatively to anybody else in the entirety of the My Hero universe. And I say that fully. Like, do I think that he's like would be stronger than everybody? I do not know, but his strength is absolutely wild, and I could very much say that I honestly fully think that he could at least get to All Might's level in strength. Like, he is either at All Might's level in strength or probably surpasses it, and that is full All Might because I do not think All Might's at a Hulk level, and Spider-Man has punched Hulk, and Hulk has felt it, so who knows where his strength truly gets to. But besides that, we just kind of have to end it off with one of the things that I honestly wanted to just save for the end of this video, which would just be the emotional impact of him kind of being in there. Because My Hero isn't just about the big battles, it's the entirety like full situation of talking about the emotional weight of being a hero. Peter has had some of the best emotional storytelling in all of comics. His struggles with responsibility, loss, and balancing his life would fit perfectly in with the heart-wrenching moments that My Hero has had, just whether it's terms of like Deku and his entire thing, or the entire stories of all the other characters just being intertwined in anything else like that. And before we end it off, we only have to ask one question truly, and that's, could he become the number one hero? Because at the end of the day, could he really raise up to the number one hero spot in My Hero? And with his intelligence, the scale of a heart, and everything else that he has, could he surpass the likes of Deku or All Might or whatever? And in my opinion, I honestly think that he would. Like, I honestly think that he would have what it takes to become the number one hero, but let me know. What do y'all think? Would he, first of all, be able to be the perfect fit in the My Hero world? Or would he even be able to possibly become the number one hero? Let me know your thoughts and just let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And if you guys did enjoy this video, please don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell so you guys don't miss out on future videos. If you guys did enjoy this, just check out everything in the description also, and let me really know any other videos that you guys would like me to possibly do on any other characters in general. But I will see you guys in the next video, and peace.